Hey guys, it's Carla from the Paper Trail. Thank you for being here. Today I'm going to make over these two books. These are both teacher books, so they make good gifts, but I just wanted to dress them up a little bit. I found these at a thrift store, and they're new. They've not been written in. They've got, in fact, you can tell they've not even been used at all because some of the pages are still stuck together. But so I'm going to make them over and make them more giveable. So I'm using scrapbook paper that matches the spine because I'm not going to do anything to the spine. I don't want it to cover up the title of the book and the author. So I thought these were good prints to match both of these books. Okay, so I've cut out a little bit bigger than the cover of the book, the front cover, because I want to have enough to fold in and glue to the inside. So I'm just covering the front with glue, and I want to make sure that I get everywhere, especially around the edges, that where the scrapbook paper is going to be. Then I want to place it on there straight. Get out all the wrinkles or bubbles or whatever might be there. And I'm doing that to both of these books. So these steps are exactly the same for both books. Just cover the front cover, press it down well. And then I want to cut off the corners so that I can fold everything in. This is the easiest way I've found to cover a book because that back page, that very last page, is going to come over and be glued down to this paper that I folded in. So it will cover up all of that and look like it is supposed to be that way. Which this doesn't look bad as it is right there, but once I glue that back page or front page or whichever you're doing, I think this is the front of the book, but once I glue that over, then it really cleans it up a lot. But you do want to make sure that you get the glue all the way out to the edges, because if you don't, those edges are going to peel up. The rest of it doesn't matter so much, but just want to make sure you get those edges. And then just press it down, and that finishes that inside cover. And most books do have that. The first and the last pages are usually just either blank or decorative. So just, make sure your book has that before you do this. It's so hard sometimes to figure out a good gift for your child's teacher or your grandchild's teacher. And I think this is perfect because it's not only is it a teacher gift already, but then you've put a special touch into it. So I think it really makes a good gift. And you can decorate these so many different ways. If you actually know the teacher, then you could design it specifically for that that teacher, but if not, then there's a lot of different ways to do it. Just, just general ways that will work for anybody. And the reason I'm doing 2 books is because I'm doing one a little more feminine than the other, because, you have male and female teachers, so. All right, so I'm going to start with the more masculine book. And again, you can almost throw anything. It's kind of like making a hang tag or something. You just kind of throw whatever on there, and it typically ends up looking good. So you don't have to put a lot of thought into this as far as what goes on the cover. I just don't want to leave it plain, although they look good the way they are, just covered like that, but I wanted to decorate it up a little bit. So I've torn one piece of cardboard and glued it down, and you could distress those edges. I didn't on this one. I'm going to on the one that I'm tearing right now, but you could actually do it on both of them if that's what you like. So this just makes it stand out against, because they're both cardboard and one's going on top of the other, so this just makes the smaller one stand out against the bigger one. And now I'm going to put a stamp on that. I wanted to put scripture on each of these books, so I've chosen one for this one. Don't remember what it says. Something about wisdom. Wisdom belongs to God, maybe. So that's the one I chose for the more masculine book. Again, don't put a lot of thought into this. Just kind of throw things on there. I just like to bring it all together. So I'm sticking with like the cardboard look and the that print of scrapbook paper, which I'm putting more of that on there. But right now I'm just distressing the edges of the book just to kind of finish them off, I guess. And the back, I'm not going to do anything to except distress it. I don't think it needs anything at all. This is walnut stain distress ink that I'm using on this book. So now I'm just going to tear little pieces of this paper, and all this does is give some more layers and bring that color back to the front where I've covered up that most of that print, so I'm putting a little bit of it back in. But mostly it's to have layers, because I think the more layers it has, the better it looks. And obviously it looks like you spent more time on it. So this is very abstract. But it wouldn't have to be. You could You could do it a whole different way, but you could just find cutouts from a magazine or book, or little embellishments. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can decorate a book cover. And that is all I'm doing to that book. I think that's plenty of layers and plenty of color. So now with the other book, I want to cover it in lace. And again, I'm not going to do the back cover, do anything to the back cover, except distress the edges. But I'm going to put lace over the whole front. And I'm using my crimping shears to cut a jagged edge all the way around. And then I'm just going to glue down around the edges. I'm not gluing in the middle because since this is lace, then whatever I glue on top of it, the glue is going to go through the lace and bind to the book anyway. So I just want to get my lace glued down around the edges. If you put solid fabric on it, then you would want to put some glue in the middle too, so that when you glue stuff on top of it, it will hold. But the glue is going to go right through this lace. So I've torn out a piece of cardstock paper, and I want to distress the edges so that it stands out against that lace. And then I've chosen a scripture to stamp onto that. And I think this one says, "Love is patient, love is kind." This is all scraps of paper and lace that I'm using, so you don't have to put any money into this aside from buying the book, which again, I found that at a thrift store, so I've barely got any money in this. So now I'm tearing out, using that same scrapbook paper that I used for the cover, I'm tearing out different size circles, not perfect circles, just circle-ishes. And I'm going to make a paper rose with this. So I'm going to lay them out largest to smallest, and I want to alternate using the front side of the scrapbook paper and the back side, and that just gives it more contrast. And I'm going to distress the edges for even more contrast. So I've got them all distressed, and starting with the biggest one, I'm going to glue them right onto that lace. I hope these have inspired you to do this as a gift for a teacher or somebody. It doesn't have to be a teacher book. It could be for anybody. And if you know, like I said with the teacher, if you actually knew the teacher, or if you know whoever you're giving it to, then you could really customize it to what they like. And as long as you don't cover up that spine right there, then you're still not affecting the book as far as, the title and the author is still showing. So you're just kind of making it prettier. All right, hope you guys got some inspiration from this, and thank you so much for being here. Hope you have a great day, and God bless you.